Asmita says the US has indicated it will not send troops to Ukraine. What options does the US have to make Russians withdraw without crossing the margin of safety? I'm sure the economic sanctions are anticipated by the Russians. They must be having a plan to deal with them. And Saha says, what are the substantial repercussions that Russia can face in the coming days, and how badly can they affect Russia in the long run? So, what the Americans can do is they can cut off Russia's access to Netflix, to Disney Plus, to HBO, and they can perhaps cut off Russia's access to the SWIFT banking system, and they have already imposed various economic sanctions on Russia because currently the global economy is controlled by the US. W- Yeah, it's controlled by the US. There's no other way of putting it. So they can cut off various countries from the system if they wish to. So that's what they're doing. So, like you said, Asmita, that Mr. Putin he knew this is what's going to happen. He must have anticipated even further moves from the economic front. So that was anticipated. What options does the US have to make the Russians withdraw without crossing the margin of safety? No options. The Americans are not going to be able to make the Russians withdraw. What they could do is they could foment an Afghanistan style insurgency in Ukraine, which will destroy the country. If they do that, let's go to the map. If the Americans do that, they will have to do it via Romania or Hungary or Slovakia or Poland. And I doubt very much if these countries want to come on the bad side of Russia. If they allow the Americans to funnel arms, ammunition, weapons, and personnel across their borders into Ukraine to create an insurgency, they're gonna face adverse repercussions from the Russians. I don't think anybody wants that right now, right? But what the Americans can do, especially if the Russians don't take over the whole of Ukraine, is they can foment some kind of insurgency in Ukraine. Insurgencies are terrible. In the 1980s, they did this in Afghanistan via Pakistan. They used the Pakistani ISI and the Pakistani government under Ziaul Haq to funnel arms, ammunition, freedom fighters into Afghanistan, which eventually led to the defeat of the USSR in 1989 and 88, 89, whatever, whichever year it was. So they could try that in Ukraine, but I'm not sure how much that will work because Ukraine is not Afghanistan. And if they do it, it would be a very cynical and sad thing to do because it will destroy the country. It will cause all kinds of civilian casualties. But the Americans may do that. They may explore that option because they don't care about any civilians, as their track record proves.